ChatGPT is a boon or a bane? Is it useful for the English language learners? I'm going to give you some guidelines. This is a regular question that I get from most of my learners and some of my subscribers. Let's delve deep into this question and find out the answer. If you're not going to use this with mindfulness, it's going to become a make-believe tool or an app. It's okay if you don't understand it completely. My name is Renee Rose Matthew. I'm a CELTA certified tutor and also an author. If you're visiting the channel for the first time, you can take a look at all the other videos because I have been focusing on language learning, communication skills, and mental health. Some book reviews are also available on my channel. Please make the most of it. Welcome again. Is ChatGPT really useful? Well, of course, it is helpful in some way. If you don't have anybody to speak to, if you really want somebody to help you with the corrections, if you want to get your sentence structure correct, yes, you can rely on ChatGPT, but be very careful. You cannot become dependent on it. Before I give you all the pointers, I have done a video on this topic in the form of a conversational video, and then I believe that many people had access to ChatGPT, but only 30 to 40% of the population used it. So when I say used it, it is completely using it with the knowledge as a tool, as an app. But now everybody, most of the people use it. They have access to ChatGPT. Not only that, they know how to use it. Now let's see what are the advantages and disadvantages. There are people promoting ChatGPT. Of course, you can ask ChatGPT to help you with the sentences. It will help you with the syntax, some grammar, the basic things. But remember, you have to be mindful. If you're not going to be mindful, it will definitely put you in a trap. Now, we cannot blame technology for this. Technology is created by human beings. We create it, and I think we have to be responsible while using it. We should also know how to use it, what are the advantages and disadvantages. Otherwise, there are people who are ignorant, and if you continue to be in ignorance, it can definitely put you in a trap. The first point is ChatGPT does not have the emotional intelligence. Now, there is a book on emotional intelligence. If you want, I can give you more inputs on this book. What is this? It is the capability to analyze, reason out, manage, and also tackle behavior. And you know that this is an asset. This is what makes a human being a human, with the power to reason out, logical reasoning, at the same time thinking, processing, comprehending. I'll give you more examples. When it comes to emotional intelligence, it's about understanding the emotions, feelings. You don't have to be emotional. You don't have to be always showing or exhibiting the feeling, but managing, tackling, comprehending, and processing, analyzing. All these are some of the skills that is specific, and that is something that makes human beings the crown of creation. That is organic. And when you have this organic intelligence, which is beyond any understanding and comprehension, as of now, ChatGPT does not have the capability to comprehend such things. I'll give you one more example. I have seen people taking the help of ChatGPT by saying, I want you to help me with the darkest and the deepest aspects of life. Like suppose you confide in ChatGPT about your mental health or a problem that you're facing. Of course, you can ask ChatGPT to help you with effective tips on communication skills, effective strategies to speak English, something that is basic mental therapist, coach, counselor. The main problem is it doesn't have the capacity and the capability to comprehend what you're saying because it doesn't have emotional intelligence. It may try to suffice what you really want, but it may not give you the right solution. For example, it can take sides with you without holding you accountable even if you do wrong. Suppose you're in a problem and if you want ChatGPT to analyze and give the right solution to a particular problem in life, or when it comes to mental health or therapy, it may take all the sides. So if you say one aspect or one side to that problem, it will say, yes, that is correct. In fact, it is right. And this is the explanation and elaboration. But when you put the other side, on the other hand, this is also another possibility and probability, it will support you. It will be supportive. It will not hold you accountable. I'm not saying that ChatGPT should blame you as users, but it should be able to analyze and give you the right answer, at least direct you, which is not within the capacity of an AI tool or robot. As of now, it doesn't happen. And also you have biased answers. It is based on, the functioning of ChatGPT itself is based on biased data sets. At least remove the word biased data sets. So it is based on vast data sets. It collects the information from you in the form of question or in the form of a problem, the instruction that you have given. And after that, it does like this, do as directed. In fact, it collects different information and maybe things connected to research and different websites. It gathers the required points and then processes the answer to fit your needs and requirements. Now, when you look up Google, Google will give you all the information from research papers, from books, and from wherever it can gather, it will give you the answer. And you just have to read it and find out. Right? Some of them will be authentic, the others will not be. But ChatGPT will process and give you in the right form as per your requirements and needs. So suppose you have an essay or if you have an assignment and if you ask it to write down maybe 280 words on this particular topic, it will gather information, it will write according to your needs and requirements. Wow. So when it comes to emails, articles, papers, fine. But remember, there is one more point, subtopic to this. When you write poems or when you write papers, articles, the university websites and also educational institutions operating online definitely have access to the software that can detect anything that is written using ChatGPT or AI tools. I'm not saying it is wrong. You can get ideas, you can gather information, but in the long run, it will definitely stop you. Initially, it will retard, but then it will stop you. There'll be a blockage that will hinder your critical thinking capacities, capability of reasoning out, logically reasoning out and giving the solution and probability and possibility to a particular question or a problem. In the long run, you will not be able to critically analyze or even comprehend something. I completely understand. You take the help of ChatGPT or AI tools because you don't have anybody else to speak to. You may not have the environment. I understand that. But remember, when you begin with language learning, of course, you indulge in conversation. You will get your sentences right, grammar rules right. It will be able to help you with some topics and conversation. That is good. But when you move forward, you will reach advanced levels of language. And there you require critical thinking, reasoning out, analysis, creativity. Now, when I say creativity, you're not going to become a writer, or everyone will not be interested in becoming writers and poets. But it is paramount to thinking, creating, and recreating. Today, we have to teach people to imagine and visualize. We have different ways of visualizing things. We have 3D, 4D, and today everything is progressing at a faster rate and even beyond 4D. At the same time, you have the AI tools creating frames and images today. In one way, it is dangerous, but in one way, it is also helpful. In that case, remember that people working behind this definitely have creativity, they have imagination. But as a language learner, you want to develop your skills, you want to tap your complete potential, everything that is hidden within you. And to tap that knowledge, those talents and skills, ChatGPT AI tools will not help you in the long run, because the subtle nuances of language, especially when it comes to academic writing, otherwise also when you read an email, when you want to understand certain things and give the right appropriate response, these AI tools will not be able to differentiate. There are many learners who tell me that when it comes to the ChatGPT tools, I've noticed something. The rule is correct, the grammar given is right, but I'm trying to ask some other question. Maybe that requires analyzing power. It may require some comparison, contrasting ideas, where ChatGPT and AI tools may just beat around the bush, but that's not the case. It is trying to help you out. It is based on data sets. When you're not able to visualize and imagine and put those thoughts in words, you may feel that you're getting stuck. Most of the people get stuck not because of lack of words. You can learn words. Many people know many words also. But what is it that's stopping you? Thinking in English, the flow, and also focusing on the idea that you want to put in English. And there, people just mistake it for communication skills and language barrier. Last week also I did a video on becoming nervous. Your mind will definitely give you that alert. It will alert you saying you haven't done enough. Another point is, if you don't require critical thinking, if you're not bothered about it, there are other aspects of language that's complicated for ChatGPT and AI tools. And for language lovers who are into literature or just learning a language, if you're reading a poem or article or essay, it could be a complicated task for ChatGPT and AI. It'll gather some information. I'm not speaking about interpretation here. In a literature class, we have different people interpreting a piece of poem or article or essay. That's different. Interpretation varies with individuals' experience, but always there is something that is at the ground level. You can't interpret anything, any piece of literature the way you like. You have to read, comprehend, look at the language structure, use the critical theories, and also the different approaches to language. It's not perspective, but different approaches to comprehending a text, and then speak about it. So literature students will know more about that. When it comes to PhD or postdoctorate course, I have come across writing services. I wouldn't call it plagiarism, but it is not accepted by reputed universities. When you give your work, when you write your work, you're contributing. You are contributing to this area. If it is English literature or philosophy or even any other subject, engineering, you are contributing your thoughts and also theories based on all that you have been doing throughout these years. Something that you're contributing based on your interest, your depth in that subject matter, in that area, in that topic. That is why people are asked to choose a particular subject and also a problem, hypothetical understanding of the subject and the area. All these things come under research. This spark is extinguished when you keep on using AI tools and artificial intelligence. So maybe you all don't want to do research, or only some people are interested in it, but the interest to research, to find out, is important as a language learner. Today we see a lot of people who are just ignorant. Even the basic knowledge is not there. You need mentors and guides for that, but apart from that, you can learn it on your own. So when you learn things on your own, you need to have that thirst to find out, research, understand the contextual meanings. If that's not there, how can you be a language learner? How can you become better with communication? So plagiarism is different. That is when you take lines and quotes and also ideas from other textbooks and resources without acknowledging it. Somebody else's words or somebody else's thoughts written, copied without acknowledgement is definitely part of plagiarism. You need to read more about it. But I'm speaking about the dying trend where people should be taught imagination and visualization. They don't want to do their work. They just take the help of writing, experts and services. Of course, it is to help you with the time. It is to also help you with the available resources. Maybe you may not have the access to resources, but when you do things on your own, it makes a lot of difference. And when you really want to contribute something, I think your work stands out. It should stand out. Your creativity, improvisation and support is definitely valid. You'll understand this better only when you go forward as a learner. Learning will not stop. It's a never-ending process. You transform yourself. with experience, with age, with the learning methods and different aspects of life, the phases of life. ChatGPT can also erode the trust and belief in yourself. You will not develop your confidence. Confidence is not just having attitude and speaking with full voice and tone. It's also about how you tap your potential. I spoke about that earlier. You will have a lot of capability hidden within you. You may have talents and skills. So only if you grow and allow yourself to trust the innate capabilities, abilities, the talents that's hidden, you will grow as a language learner. Not only language, but other skills. So if you're going to rely on ChatGPT and these AI tools, where is your creativity? Where are your sentences? Where are your words? Where is your work? It may take more time when you go to the library or when you look up resources, but it's actually fun because you're doing it with full passion. And if you really have the passion, you wouldn't complain. And your subconscious mind is really smart. It will give you this alert. You haven't done your work. You're dependent on ChatGPT, so you are not complete. So this idea of not being complete can definitely put you down. I have spoken about the ethical concerns and academic requirements. So there are some points that you have to keep in mind. Hindered critical development, academic and ethics when it comes to submission of papers, assignments, even when it comes to emails and all. Many people think that I can write properly. But do you really know that you are making some mistakes when you write? You could be making less mistakes. In speech, you could be making more mistakes. Say, for example, 15 to 20 mistakes, but while writing, you could be just making 5 to 6 mistakes. And what if those mistakes hinder the thought process and completely change the meaning of the sentences and the idea that you're trying to put forth? It can definitely tamper and make it worse or cause some hindrance. Why do you want that to happen? I hope all these points help you. If you have reached this part of the video, I'm sure that you have some patience and that you have been following these points and even my videos for a very long time. Remember that I'm a literature student. I have worked with schools, colleges, and now I'm a language trainer for adults. I write. I've got my works published. So with all the experience, all the things that I've gathered through my life, writing, teaching, and learning, I'm trying to share some guidelines here. So when I share these guidelines, I really want you to benefit from that. I don't want you to make those mistakes made by some of the learners because they follow trends. When I was a child, when I was in college, I didn't have many people to help me out with these approaches to language and literature. It was only for the professors. There's some guidelines and mentorship really helped me to come up to pursue my passion for literature and language. So I hope you understand these points and happy learning.